Sure. James, I guess just what was this past weekend like for you watching the show play out? I know, you all didn't want to acknowledge it too much during the season, but just seeing Indiana's name pop up on the screen, I mean, what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment, definitely. Definitely a goal we set out at the beginning of the year, so it was nice to kind of see our name up there, but I think the whole time we knew we were going to be in. I think it was really just who we were going to play and kind of where we were at. Yeah, it was definitely a cool moment. It's going to be a really good experience for us, and we're just really excited about it.
Where'd you watch the show?
Me and Jackson were actually in the airport going to Arkansas, so he pulled up his laptop, and we were watching in the middle of the Indy airport.
Jack and Todd.
Yeah, James, Notre Dame obviously has had a successful run game this year. When you watch them on film, is there anything unique about what they do that you feel like has led to that success?
Yeah, I mean, they're just a well-rounded group. Running backs are really good, very, very talented. I think the quarterback is also very underrated for his run game. He can really run it too, and a young but a good O-line. So I think kind of all those things combined kind of play into it. But I just think all around they're just a good team.
Todd, go ahead.
James, from the outside looking in, it seems like it's been pretty smooth sailing for this team. There doesn't seem to have been much adversity either externally or internally. And I know Coach Signetti preaches belief and never being satisfied. Have there been any moments this year that wouldn't be as obvious to us that tested your guys' resolve in that way? What's that kind of dynamic for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think an underrated one was the Michigan State game when we went down early. That was definitely. I think that was our first deficit of the season. I think it was like 10 or 14 nothing, something like that. So I think even though we kind of came back and I think it was like 40 something stretch, I still think that was a kind of a big moment for us. Just kind of see how we responded. We were down. Obviously we came out strong after that. So I think that's definitely kind of a part of the season or I guess a moment that kind of goes under the radar a little bit.
Daniel, then Mike.
Yeah, on you, 2019 you walk on, right? 2024 you're in Arkansas with that guy, right? When you kind of just reflect on the last however many years, regardless of what happens, you'll end trying to win a chip.
Yeah.
Is this kind of storybook to you? Do you feel like?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty surreal. Kind of just going back to where I started in 2019, kind of walking on for a JMU. Like I said a couple times, if you would have told me I'd been here, kind of playing for a national championship here at Indiana, I definitely would not have believed you. So yeah, it just kind of plays into it. It's just an incredible kind of ride so far. A great 5-6 years, at JMU, and then this last year here. So yeah, it's definitely very surreal, but we definitely want to finish the job. So.
Mike, then Josh.
No, go ahead. You skip.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
James, obviously you went to Arkansas for the Burlsworth Award. What was that experience like, just knowing his history and you being in that situation?
Yeah, so I went last year and it was a very good experience. So being able to go again this year was super cool. Marty and Vicky down there, they do a very, very good job. It's first class production, first class event. Yeah, it was just cool to kind of go down there, meet the guys down there. And just kind of meet them, meet their families, and just kind of put on for a really good cause, a really good event, and yeah, it was a good time.
Josh and Pete, Pete then Mike. Do you get it? Are you good after Pete?
I'm good.
Okay, Pete, go ahead.
Okay. Indiana hasn't beaten Notre Dame since 1950. They haven't won there since 1906. You've had a historic season. How special would that be to continue that by doing what hasn't been done in almost a century?
Yeah, I mean,
Over a century.
Yeah, I think it's could be very special for us. Obviously, Notre Dame's kind of a blue blood program when it comes to college football. So being able to go down there and beat them in this type of situation, and know that environment's gonna be pretty hostile. So yeah, it just kind of all the history behind it. The two Indiana teams. It's a lot of storybook kind of stuff comes into it. So I just think being able to go down there and beat them would be pretty awesome for us.
Dylan.
What does this next week and a half sort of look like for you in practice and prepping?
Yeah, I mean, last week was pretty laid back just because we didn't really know who we were going to play. Obviously now we play Notre Dame. It's just kind of normal practices really. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Just you know, the same rhythm, same kind of schedule, stuff like that. So, yeah, really, you know, normal week, you know, this week, and then obviously next week, game week. Maybe I think we move everything a day up, but other than that, you know, practice-wise, everything's normal.
Joe?
I understand they're two very different opponents, but how did having a game in Columbus against Ohio State kind of help with this preparation of a big stadium, high caliber team?
Yeah, I think it definitely kind of opened our eyes, a little bit of a humbling experience for us. You know, obviously that game didn't go the way we wanted, but I think that environment and that experience is going to kind of definitely help us this next one in terms of just crowd noise, you know, just kind of handling our emotions, stuff like that. So yeah, I think all in all, the you know, experience at Ohio State's going to, you know, kind of, you know, definitely be good for us in the long run, especially when it comes to this game.
Daniel?
If you remember when you were in here prior to week 1, you kind of you mentioned aura a lot, right? You've lived through 3.5 months now. What is the aura?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only grown since camp. Obviously, you know, it was kind of nothing was kind of put out there. We didn't really play anybody yet, so I think it was more of an internal. But I think now the whole country's seeing what we can do. So I think really it's only grown, especially with kind of Coach Sig and kind of what he portrays to everyone and kind of what everyone thinks of him. I think, you know, and especially how we play, I think it's only grown since then.
Seth and Colin, last one.
You talk about handling your emotions and, you know, just with the Ohio State game and everything. Obviously, this is a huge game too. Just how do you, I guess, as a team, maintain that focus and I guess, you know, obviously, you know, maybe allow yourself to take in little moments here and there for, you know, appreciating the situation you're in, but also, you know, keeping locked in for a moment like this.
Yeah, I think for us, it's just realizing kind of what opportunity we have. I mean, this is, you know, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, once-in-a-lifetime experience. You know, we get to go play for a national championship, and, you know, this is where it starts. So, I really think, you know, there's going to be no issues with everyone being locked in. I think, you know, it started, you know, since Sunday or since wherever the selection show was. So I think, you know, if you're not locked in for this game, something's definitely wrong with you. And, you know, it's what we came here to do, and, you know, win a national championship.
Colin, last one.
Notre Dame is one of the best defensive lines in the country. What are you all, as a defensive line here, doing to prepare the offensive line for that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do a little bit of, you know, kind of good on good. So, you know, in those periods, in those moments, we just kind of give our best effort and kind of just, you know, iron sharpens iron type of mentality. And yeah, it's late in the season, but especially in those moments when we go against the offensive line, we got to make sure, you know, we give each other that good look and kind of prepare each other for, you know, for the game.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.